The iconic Tidy Kiwi anti-litter campaign of the 1970s and 80s is making a comeback. The government's given just over $3 million in funding to resurrect the Keep New Zealand Beautiful campaign in a bid to try to help kids tackle the soaring amount of waste. Our reporter, Nita Blake-Person, and cameraman, Dan Cook, went to an Auckland classroom today for a bit of a test run.
It's been 30 years since nationwide campaigns rolled out asking New Zealanders to do the right thing by putting their rubbish in the bin. But at Brookby School near Clevedon, the next generation of tidy Kiwis are learning the ropes. Kiki the Kiwi and his litter critter friends are the face of the campaign this time around. They're spreading the word that rubbish is clogging our beaches, parks and waterways. And the pupils are getting the message loud and clear.
Whenever you're at a park or something, you should pick up a couple of pieces of rubbish. Always put rubbish in the bin or in your lunch boxes. My grandpa, when he goes to the beach, he always takes a rubbish bag and then picks up rubbish.
The chief executive of Keep New Zealand Beautiful, Heather Saunderson, says 2 years ago volunteers collected 120,000 tonnes of rubbish from the streets of New Zealand over a 12-month period.
That's a lot of litter. That was enough to fill 120 rugby fields half a metre high with rubbish.
Which prompted them to spring back into action.
Education is probably something that's been lacking over many years too, so people might not necessarily know what is recyclable or what isn't, and that varies from place to place. So what you can do in Auckland isn't necessarily what you can recycle in Queenstown. So that's part of our role, is to better educate people about recycling and composting and generally how to reduce their waste.
Heather Saunderson says New Zealand's clean green image is on the line and tourists are a key part of the campaign.
I think if you have a tarnished image, that obviously can affect the economics of a country. So it is imperative for New Zealand and the tourism sector that we do maintain this clean green image. At the same time, we do need to focus on the tourism demographic and make sure that they're educated on how clean and green that we are so that they're not adding to a problem.
But Paul Evans of the waste and recycling group Waste Min says dealing with litter is only part of tackling New Zealand's waste problems. He says a lot's changed since the Tidy Kiwi campaigns of yesteryear.
In particular, we have a lot more disposable products of a different nature, which actually do create more waste and do create more litter. And so I think, Be a Tidy Kiwi and Keep New Zealand Beautiful, they're iconic things. They're things that I still remember from when I was a kid. And so I think refocusing consumers on that, what people do, the part that they can play in that is really, really important.
New Zealanders generate some of the highest levels of waste in the developed world, around 730 kilograms each per year. Mr Evans says up to half of our curbside waste could be recycled or composted, and waste going to landfills has gone up by around 30% over the past 7 years.
We're probably, 5 to 10 years behind countries in Europe, and so, we're a country that has amazing natural capital, and so simply put, we need to do better. We need to catch up. We need leadership from government, we need leadership from cities, and we need leadership from the business sector as well.
The funding will also allow Keep New Zealand Beautiful to carry out a nationwide litter audit with the aim of influencing local and central government policies around dealing with waste. The Associate Environment Minister Eugenie Sage has also launched a review of the Waste Minimisation Act, which will look at businesses having to take responsibility for products once they're used and hiking landfill costs. Mō te hōtaka o te ahiahi nei, ko Nita Blake-Person, aho.